la campanella.
I have worked on La Campanella for 17 days straight now. And let's get to the chase, I am nowhere near the level of Yevgeny Kissin. I'm only Allison Smith. I'm 22 years old and I'm completely jobless, posting YouTube videos on the internet for the same 1,000 people who like to watch my videos regularly. And one of those 1,000 people, they put comments, and everybody knows I love comments, and this person said, "Hey Allison, can you play La Campanella?" And I purposely avoided the comment. Well, he posted it again, and I said, you know what, I might as well take him up on the challenge. So I started posting 10 to 30 second clips of me playing this piece and, documenting my progress. I learned some pretty interesting lessons about recording myself for 17 days straight, and they're not groundbreaking lessons, but I'm not here to be sharing groundbreaking information. If you want groundbreaking information, go on the Earthquake website, okay? This is not the right channel for you. I'm just here to share my overall experience playing La Campanella. All right, let's jump into lesson number 1. There are so many reasons why I have not picked up a piece like this. First of all, just look at the first word. It says Paganini. Who the heck is that? And that's what I said. Well, I found out that this guy named Paganini was a violin virtuoso who was a crazy man. And there was another guy who was equally as crazy, and his name was Franz Liszt. Franz Liszt was so crazy, he decided to take that La Campanella piece that this guy created and create his own version on the piano. When you're looking at a piece like this, it's kind of a big project. The first lesson I learned was that small goals add up. Embarking on a big project like this, I was gonna take day 1 at turtle speed. So the plan of action was I was gonna do the first 4 lines on day 1, right hand only, because everybody knows the right hand is an absolute terror. Just looking at the YouTube comments, one person said it's almost like the right hand is having a seizure while the left hand is doing virtually nothing. So I took the advice of the disgruntled commenters and I said, okay, the small goal is to do only the first 4 lines, right hand only, because both hands, that would be too stressful, too big of a project. I did that for a couple of days, did the repetitions, put in the hours and stuff, and then something magical happened. With all small goals comes one thing. You get bored easily. Once I felt that inkling of boredom, I knew it was time to add another small goal. And the other small goal was to work on the left hand only of the first 4 lines. So I spent maybe 1 day working on the left hand only, and then I put them hands together. I slowly digested those 4 lines because nothing is impossible. 13 pages, that sounds impossible. But 4 lines? Anybody and their mother could do 4 lines if you do it every single day. So I said, okay, that's not too hard. And I know what everyone says about hands separately. They're like, oh, can't you play hands together? And listen, there is no shame in doing hands separately. It actually gives you more control. You can focus on one thing at a time. There's really no problem. And anyways, you're the one playing the piece. I mean, you can sight read any day of the week, but if you're playing a big project, yeah, you're probably going to embark on hands separately. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Small goals could be anything. It could be a couple of lines, it could be hands separately. Don't let anyone judge you for your small goals, because at the end of the day, you're the one playing the piece, nobody else. If I had not spent an extraordinary amount of time on the 4 lines that I was stressed out about at the beginning of the piece, I would not be here 17 days later, 4 pages in, doing the same thing for 4 pages straight. Like I said, this is not extraordinary advice. This is just something I learned. And I said, you know what? Small goals are the way to go. Because if you want to do big things, you gotta start small. The second biggest lesson that I learned was all about recording myself every single day. There is something to be said about recording yourself and posting it on the internet. It takes a special kind of person, someone with extreme confidence. The way it works on YouTube Shorts is you're only allowed to post a vertical video for under a minute long because everybody knows that everyone has very short attention spans. No one is going to sit through a video that's longer than 1 minute. So the fact that you're still here, I'm actually kind of shocked. So I said, okay, under the constraints, I'm only allowed to post a 10 to 30 second spurt on YouTube. And so every day I would wake up and I would practice and I would record my 30-second clip. By around day 3, I started to realize, oh wow, I'm seeing serious progress. And I said, I gotta continue this because I kind of became obsessed. I kind of became addicted in a way to posting my daily progress. You know, sometimes we're not always aware of all the progress we're making because we're going so slowly through something for so long that we forget. Well, I can't forget when I see day 2 progress on my YouTube Shorts. And I'm not saying you have to post YouTube Shorts of yourself playing the piano. You might not feel comfortable. I just don't care anymore. I just do it because I like posting on YouTube. I think it's more fun. After this whole 17-day experience, I have realized tracking your progress is a great way to keep going. When you can't really see how far you've come, it's hard to keep going because you can't remember where you were. One day I woke up and I, started practicing like I normally do, and the practice wasn't really that good. And so I went on my daily activities, teaching and everything, and whatever I was doing that day. I have never done anything so embarrassing in my entire life. Recording myself at a gas station was never the plan. I was driving home and I had a really important phone call to make at 8 p.m. Something that was actually, beneficial for my career. But was I concerned about that? No, I was not. I was more concerned that I did not post my YouTube short that day. So I was sitting on the phone call that was really, really important, and I was more stressed about my YouTube short that I did not post my 30-second blurb on YouTube that literally nobody cares about. I mean, maybe some people care. Maybe like you're one of the 3 people who watch my YouTube short, but I cared that much because I want to be able to see how much progress I made on day whatever. I think there's a quote where it's like, if you don't measure it, what is that quote? I don't know. The more interesting thing about recording myself was not only that I had the video, but now other people could see it. I had that sense of accountability. Not that I'm looking for anyone's approval on my own practice, but all of a sudden, people were watching my progress, and I wasn't about to post something that wasn't improved in some way. It kind of made me strive towards success a little bit more, each 30-second clip a little bit better than before, because I'm not trying to post content for the sake of posting content as if I'm some sort of content posting machine. I wanted to make every single 30-second blurb better than the day before. To recap, lesson number 2, record yourself. Maybe post it online, maybe show it to your friends, maybe have an accountability partner. I don't know, but all I'm saying is it really helped me to post a YouTube short daily. The third lesson I learned from 17 days of practicing, a really hard piece for me, was the importance of slow practice. Everybody and their great-grandma have heard these 3 quotes. Turtle wins the race. Slow and steady sloth always has success. Be the cactus. Alright, I won't lie to you, I made up the last 2. I am a firm believer in slow practice, and here are the reasons why. First of all, it's relaxing. If you add a dab of pedal, it feels like you're in some sort of a meditative state. Or is it just me? I don't know. Second, everything is in control. You have time to think. You're building in that muscle memory, training your body to do the right gestures at the right time, with the right notes, with the right rhythms, with the right everything. And once you lay that really good foundation, you can begin to elevate it. If you begin the wrong way and you try elevating too soon, you are gonna elevate garbage. I posted a short that was dreadfully slow, to the point that I even considered deleting it. But then I was like, no, I'm not gonna delete it because I am here to showcase the truth about practicing. Not some, oh, practicing is so easy. Practicing is wonderful. You can practice fast all the time. No, those people are lying to you, and I will not lie to you. I will showcase the truth. After 15 years of practicing, I'm not going to showcase lies, because that's not what it's all about. I'm not here to impress anybody. Here's one more thing to note about slow practice. How long do you go slow? Like, do you go slow 2 days? Do you go slow 3 days? Let me give you another story from my 17-day journey. There was a particular section in the piece where I was going slow consistently, but then I was thinking, you know what I talked about in lesson number 2, how I recorded myself every day and I wanted to continuously improve? Well, sometimes you can't continuously improve in the way that you want. The way to improve is to actually do the same thing for 3 days in a row. I didn't want to post the same short 3 days in a row, like I said, but that was what it took for me to actually improve on that section. Even on this day, I still don't really have that section down because I didn't spend enough days playing it at the same slow speed. I think I elevated it too fast. And to recap all of the general information I just gave you, here's what I want you to take away. Progress with a long-term project is not always going to be linear like the way we all want. We all want, scalable, consistent progress, but it's just not always the case. It's better to stick with it on the daily than to be concerned so much with results, because the results will come, but it might not always be obvious. Please give this video a like, a subscribe if you like content like this. I sometimes post funnies, I sometimes post practice videos, practice strategies, all the things. And stay tuned if you want to see another day of me trying to get through this piece. I don't know how long I'll try to get through this piece. I'm not sure how long it might take. I'm not going to say stay tuned for another 17 days. I'll say stay tuned for another day, because remember, it's the small goals that add up, one day at a time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.